Organizations too working to change lives of the homeless in North Texas. Among them is the nonprofit Home Point. It answers the crisis calls for housing and other assistance. It is also working to prevent homelessness and stabilize families. Their CEO and the group's mission in this week's Here and Now conversation with Sean Rabb.
I want to introduce you to a nonprofit here in Dallas working to uplift our homeless, unhoused population. Mr. Kelvin Brown is CEO of Home Point. And let's start by talking about what Home Point is, Kelvin Brown.
So Home Point is a 46-year-old nonprofit here in the city of Dallas fighting homelessness in both Dallas and Collin County.
Before you became Home Point, how were you known?
People probably know us by Housing Crisis Center was the name that we had previously. We are the step after shelter, which is critically important to note. So as a part of the homeless response system here, folks are referred to us. We then will place them in an apartment, and we don't own those apartments, but work with some 45 to 48 different apartment properties throughout Dallas and Collin County. So we'll place them in the apartment and then work with the head of household to begin breaking down the barriers that cause them to be homeless or is preventing them from being stably housed. So the second part of what we do is trying to prevent homelessness altogether. Similarly to what has happened in dentistry and medicine, we're trying to move a little further upstream to prevent people from becoming homeless. We provide rental and or utility assistance, but also with the critical portion of assigning what we call an empowerment coach to help work on those same barriers that we mentioned before. What we discovered through the pandemic was that there were a lot more people at risk of homelessness than what we ever thought. We participated with some of the American Rescue Plan Act funding, providing rental and utility assistance to the tune of some $3 million, probably over the 2-year period of trying to help people, and just discovered that the need was so much greater than we thought, that there are still people who are right on the brink of homelessness. And one of the things that we noted, what people will do when they're at risk of homelessness is very, very different from what they will do once they're literally homeless and chronically homeless.
What do you need?
We really need funding for us to try to help continue our prevention services, which is drastically different from the housing programs that we currently manage. So we've had a fundraising gala and those kinds of things, but right now, again, donations are down.
It's critical to help on the front end. If you can prevent me from becoming homeless, you can save a whole lot of work and money trying to get me back up to sea level, if you will, sea level.
That's a great point. A lot of people don't really pay attention to that. In the end, we end up saving money because the homeless population is such a drain on city services. We could use those funds ahead of time by trying to prevent folks from becoming homeless. We save ourselves some money, and we'd also save ourselves some burnout.
And I imagine there are people watching who could be benefactors to Home Point. They could write you a check. How can I donate if I'm watching and I'm so moved to do so?
So if you are so moved to do so, you can also go to our website at www.homepoint.org. There is a Donate Now button there on the homepage. Or you are welcome to send a check to Home Point, make that check payable to Home Point, and you can mail it to P.O. Box 141177, and that's Dallas, Texas, 75214.
Kelvin Brown, CEO of Home Point, thank you for what you are doing to lift lives and even prevent homelessness where you can. Thank you for your work, sir.
Thank you so very much for this opportunity.